Hi and welcome to Sailing with Faith. This is our 24th YouTube video. In this one we're going to show you some mixed conditions and hopefully we'll see you at the Annapolis Boat Show. We're going to be there on Friday. So we went out in the boat and anchored, and we found a beach and rowed over to the beach. We had a bit of fun. What happens down below stays on YouTube. We had the beach to ourselves. It was early autumn, so the water wasn't that warm, not really warm enough to swim in. But Amelia had a lot of fun. So we had a mixture of conditions on the last sail. This was the week before. Had full sail out and we were doing some very nice speeds. I think the conditions were 8 to 10 knots of wind, and we had temperatures of low 70s, mid 70s, I think, maybe upper 70s. We had the sails nicely trimmed. Gave us an opportunity to, do odd jobs on the boat, because we really only go down to the boat when we're going to sail or if I'm working down there. When there's time on our hands, we can do a few bits and pieces like wiping down the decks and cleaning some of the interior where I've been making some dust. That's Salt Ponds Marina over there. And as you can see, it got a little bit swelly in places. Last weekend's sail, we were showing 5 to 7 foot of swell right there, feet of swell, and 17 knots of wind with gusts up to 25 knots. So we didn't put the main up, we just had the reef in Genoa, and that was reefed as well around the furling. You'll notice my roller reefing rope was actually only supposed to be a temporary measure. It was a Lowe's special for $5, so that's my number one priority. Actually, during this trip we lost the engine as well, kind of semi-planned. I'm running the diesel low. That's my cutie pie, she's falling asleep. Running the diesel low, so what happened was the engine slowed down to virtually 500 RPM. It just kept ticking over, had no power, and now I know what happens when I run out of diesel. So I filled it up with diesel. I had 5 gallons and it fired back up and slowly went back up to the revs after about 30 seconds a minute, and didn't have to bleed it or anything. So that's not what I was expecting. I don't want to do that very often, because if I got air in the system, then I'll be in trouble. Well, I know how to bleed it, but it takes a little bit of effort and time and sweat and getting down below on a hot engine, so I don't do that too often. So there's my little one Amelia mucking around below the Dodger. That's her place. Alan's working on deck and I'm working below. When we were sailing and the winds were gusting, I was trying to feel the tension of the shrouds, and even with the boat keeled over, the shrouds on the leeward side were still quite tight. So I'm very happy the shrouds are tight enough. I might tension the forestay. It looks like the stern stay is fully tensioned up, there's no more room on there, so I've got to look at how upright the mast is. and then I'll pull down. If I think it's not too far leaning back at all, I will pull down on the stern stay and just put a little bit of tension between the bow and the stern stays, mast stays. So that was on our way out, and you can see how the boat is lifting up and down in these 5 to 7 foot swells. It was quite interesting. By the end of the day, died off a little bit, and we got back to the mooring nicely. We saw some fishermen out there. We had some lunch and then we watched the sunset. Apologies for some of the video work. It was a cheap GoPro type thing, but we will be upgrading very soon. Thanks for watching.